I'm here with Rabbi Sherre Hirsch, world-renowned author and thinker from Los Angeles. And we have about 10 minutes together to talk about a few ideas. I want to start with the title of your previous book, We Plan, God Laughs. What does that phrase mean to you? And what does it mean for the Jewish community?
Well, I always say, it's a Yiddish phrase that many people know. But what my grandmother used to say, the first time a boyfriend that I loved broke up with me, she said to me, "Ugh, we plan, God laughs." I was like, this is not comforting. This is not comforting. And only later in life did I really realize that I misunderstood the phrase all along. God wept when the temple was destroyed. I thought that God was laughing at us, but God is laughing with us in the same way that when my son was 3 years old and he told us what he wanted to be when he grows up, and my son, who is like a big thinker, but at 3 years old, what does he think about? Cars and trucks. My husband, who has a family of doctors, and I have a family of rabbis, was like, I own this. And he's like, I want to be a pirate. And we burst into laughter. That's the way God thinks about us. So that was the incentive for the book.
Fascinating. In your recent book about thresholds, what would you say are the major thresholds that the Jewish community is facing today?
Well, I think the entire way we understood American Jewish community is that people join synagogues, they are philanthropic, they commit to these communities, and that's how they grow their Judaism. And I think that model is broken. I think 80% of the Jewish community doesn't even believe that membership has value. They equate it to membership like at a gym, and they don't go to gyms anymore, right? They pay per class. And so they don't even want to think of their Judaism in that way. And that model was for a very specific type of family and a type of error. And we're at the cusp of what is it, and I don't think we know. So that's the one in the American community, but I also think Israel's at a threshold.
What do you think it is in Israel?
Well, I think the world is conflating Zionism and Judaism. That threshold we've been at before is a very dangerous threshold. I think it's a painful threshold. I think what we have now is the wisdom on our side. What we do with that wisdom is what's going to be defining. I also think how we develop as a nation. I mean, Israel's young, and right now it's on the cusp of becoming something of a force in the world. And if we can't align how we discord about it in the public eye, that doesn't mean we have to agree, but how we do it in a respectful way, that will also define the threshold.
Moving from the macro to the micro, within the Jewish community, how do you think these thresholds affect just individual people in our community?
So all the time people are at a threshold, right? The obvious ones, like being single to married, married to a family, working to divorced, married to divorced, working to retired, family life to empty nesters. There's all those thresholds that I think are constantly addressed for people. But I think even more there's the ones that are not spoken about, which are the threshold of, I got this promotion, but I'm scared to death. And I don't think I can do it. And I'm not qualified. And those are the ones that are not spoken about. And those are the ones that I want to talk about, because those are the ones that people seek out a rabbi for, because they're embarrassed to share that sort of knowledge.
So speaking of that inadequacy or vulnerability, what do you mean by being a B+ mother or a B+ spouse?
So it's gotten so much attention for the book for saying this. And it goes right back to Genesis, when God created the world. After the end of each day, as you know, God said it was good. I mean, God could have said it was perfect. We know that God knew perfection, right? But God's like, it's good. It's good. Sometimes 2 days, it was like very good. But because of it, it sort of gives insight that somehow this perfection as a destination is false. And this idea of trying to achieve perfection, even you see it all around in society. People are trying to physical perfection. They're trying to run away from aging. All these different things, that quest is inefficacious. And really what we should strive for is to be good. So I tell people in the book, strive to be a B+ mother. What you'll model for your children is your humanity, not your incredible ethic to try to be someone you're not.
So how does that affect our daily interactions, to take that kind of framework? So
you're in the car, and you say something you regret. You cuss because the person went in front of you. Instead of being like, oh my God, I shouldn't have said that. Oh my God. You turn to your child and you say, you know what? I'm human. Sometimes when someone cuts in front of you, the first thing that comes out of your mouth is something you wish you wouldn't have said, but you get to repair it. And that's about being good, not about being perfect. Because I see a lot of mothers, oh my God, I shouldn't have said it. What should I do? It's like, okay, it's human, right? Apologizing, asking for help, seeking forgiveness. Those are the essence at the core of what it means to be a B+.
what would be your dream in terms of what you want to accomplish with this book? Like how would things begin to shift if people took this really seriously?
I think on a micro level, I want people to be much kinder and gentler in the way that they evolve as human beings. I see everybody really feeling like they're not enough. And all that not enough is creating addiction, it's creating unhappiness. So we have this culture of everyone try to be happy. We're now going to study happiness and how you achieve happiness. I'm over. I'm not interested in happiness. This sense of that I'm leaving the world better and that I matter and that I'm here and that's value and I'm a child of God. To me, that's what people need. They don't need happiness, perfection. So that's what I'd like to see Thresholds really affect people and be touched by that. And when I hear someone say to me, Rabbi, I read Thresholds and I've forgiven myself for leaving my marriage because it wasn't good. And I'm okay with it, right? And then I'm allowed to move on and continue to be whole. It's very gratifying.
Right. One of my favorite teachings of the rabbis is that the wealthy person is someone who's samech b'chelko, content with their own lot. So hard today.
So hard. Simple teaching, hard to enact.
So hard to enact. And I think that we have to help people get there to say that we're so competitive and feel so inadequate and feel like we're just lacking in all these ways. And ways to learn to just be more gentle with ourselves.
Well, and Pirkei Avot is so smart because the science now they've studied is that people over $75,000, their happiness level does not increase measurably by their finances. So once your basic needs are met, your happiness is pretty set. So I think the Mishnah knew that long before scientists do.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, I hope others will pick up your amazing new book.
Thank you,
Rabbi Sherre Hirsch, and we wish you a lot of success in your continued work.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you.